The movie starts when a young man named Jeong-do wakes up. His priority is his health and happiness. Doing something fun makes him happy. He loves sports like judo, kendo, and taekwondo. Aside from that, he also loves e-sport. He is good at the things that he loves. He also helps his father with his food business by delivering it to their customers. One night after delivering orders, he noticed two people fighting in an alley. He didn't know that was an ex-prisoner and a martial arts officer fighting. As he noticed that the martial arts officer was knocked off, he immediately helped it. The ex-prisoner is about to attack him, but he easily kicks its butt and then does some judo moves that make the ex-prisoner knock out. The next day, Jeong-do was invited to the Seoul Correctional Center to receive an Exemplary Citizen Award, due to helping the martial arts officer. After the ceremony, he met manager Seon-min, of the Electronic Surveillance Division. They have time to talk about this division and Seon-min explains everything to Jeong-do. He said that all the ex-prisoner under probationary receive an electronic anklet and their job as a martial arts officer is to supervise them 24/7. Due to a lack of people, he invited Jeong-do to join his team as he showed an amazing move when he helped one of the martial arts officers. Jeong-do thinks about the offer. Later that day, while Jeong-do was with his friends, he asked their advice about him joining the martial arts officer. They think that would not be an easy job. But they know the capability of Jeong-do, so they will support him in his choice. Jeong-do also asked for advice from his father about the job. His father was happy to see Jeong-do facing new challenges and new learnings in life. So he gives his approval to Jeong-do and assured that he will be fine running their food business. The next day, Jeong-do went to the Seoul Correctional Center. At the center, Seon-min introduced Jeong-do to the other team members as a temporary replacement of Mr. Cho, the martial arts officer that he helped before. After that, Jeong-do started his training program to know how to use their tracking application. After the long training, he finally starts working and monitoring the ex-prisoner. Suddenly, in his monitor an icon changed its color to yellow, which means the anklet needs to be recharged. So he politely called the ex-prisoner and told him to recharge it. But the ex-prisoner dropped his call. He immediately reached the attention of Seon-min about that and they decided to go to the ex-prisoner's location. When they arrived at the location, Jeong-do immediately noticed that the room of the ex-prisoner doesn't have an iron bar, which means he can easily jump from the window to escape. Jeong-do decides to stay outside and Seon-min will go inside. Seon-min starts knocking the door, but no one gives a response. Until he hears a girl screaming, so he knocks harder. When the ex-prisoner takes a knife, the girl opens the door to let the officer in. But the ex-prisoner jumped off the window. He didn't expect that he would see an officer outside. The prisoner decides to attack Jeong-do, but Jeong-do easily kicks him and knocks him down with the taser gun. After that, another ex-prisoner is about to do bad things. So, Seon-min and Jeong-do immediately rushed to the ex-prisoner location. They immediately found the ex-prisoner and easily captured him. After a long day of work, Seon-min wanted to treat Jeong-do for his exemplary work. But Jeong-do refuses because he needs to meet his friends after work. Seon-min decided that he can bring his friends with them so they can bond. At night, Jeong-do and Seon-min meet Jeong-do friends at the restaurant. They start introducing their name to Seon-min. The first one is Writer K. The next one is Moisture and the last one is Earthworm. Seon-min is very glad to be able to meet Jeong-do's friends. They really enjoy their dinner. When they were about to go home, Seon-min received a call from the office that there's an ex-prisoner about to do bad things. They immediately tracked the ex-prisoner and went to the location. When they arrived at the location, they only saw the anklet that was cut off and had a hard time to find the ex-prisoner. Jeong-do got an idea to use the drone of Moisture to search the area. They luckily found the ex-prisoner walking alone in the alley. Jeong-do is excited to chase him. Seon-min reminds him to take care because the ex-prisoner has a knife and also wears his buds for their communication. After that, Jeong-do rushed to the location of the ex-prisoner. When he arrived at the ex-prisoner location, he was attacked. Jeong-do easily managed to take down the ex-prisoner. After being defeated, the ex-prisoner commands Jeong-do to leave or else he will take his life. He also expresses his frustration and anxiety towards Jeong-do. Seon-min understands what the ex-prisoner has gone through, so he guides Jeong-do what he needs to say to make the ex-prisoner calm down. With their teamwork, they managed to capture the ex-prisoner. When Jeong-do got home, he shared with his father how cool and kind his manager was. After that, the news about the high-risk prisoner that will be free was announced, and it made the father of Jeong-do shocked about it. After that big news, Seon-min and his other high-rank officer had a meeting on how they will handle the supervision of Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner. Jeong-do visits a salon owned by her aunt to have a haircut and change his hair color. After that, he noticed an unusual behavior of a person at the restaurant and found out that it was an ex-prisoner. At the office, he immediately monitored his actions. A while later, Jeong-do noticed suspicious activity of the ex-prisoner and immediately called the attention of Seon-min. After they confirmed Jeong-do suspicious, they immediately rushed to the ex-prisoned locations. Unfortunately, the signal on the ex-prisoner anklet was lost, so they needed to find him manually. After a long period of searching, Jeong-do found the ex-prisoner in his aunt's salon. He immediately broke the glass door and rescued his aunt. Jeong-do managed to knock off the ex-prisoner and put the handcuffs on, while saying Miranda rights, but he didn't memorize it yet. The next morning, Jeong-do's father made him breakfast. He asks his father about what things make him happy. His father shares that making him on stage makes him happy. At that moment, Jeong-do realized that saving people and making them safe is the true happiness for him. After that, he went to meet Seon-min and stated that he wanted to dedicate his life to his passion for saving people. Seon-min was happy to hear that, and he said to Jeong-do that both of them was promoted and their first assignment was Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner. Jeong-do was excited to do their first assignment. Then, Seon-min gave his new uniform. After that, they moved to the penitentiary to meet Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner. Seon-min explained everything to Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner, about the anklet and his provisionary, then they put the anklet. They also escorted Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner, to its home. While they are on their way, a bunch of people protesting for returning Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner, to their town. They want Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner, to be executed. The police escort managed to control the crowd and was able to bring home Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner, safe. At night, while the police do their patrol on Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner house, they didn't notice unusual and found it peaceful. They didn't know that there's a person sneaking around and went to Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner's house. That person is Byung-soon, who also has an anklet for 3 years. He was there to offer Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner, a sexual content creation project. He liked the project that Byung-soon offered, so he accepted it. On the next day, Jeong-do noticed on his monitor that Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner, is going somewhere. He asked permission to Seon-min if he could follow Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner. Seon-min agreed on Jeong-do's request, and he immediately went to Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner location. He saw it enter the building, and when he followed it, he lost his track. Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner, is able to escape from Jeong-do's sight and meet the rich man Cho-min, who offers him a job. As they talk about the job, Jeong-do appears in front of their car. Apparently, due to the tint of the car, Jeong-do didn't see what's inside and decided to leave. But Jeong-do is able to memorize the car plate number. Since Jeong-do could not able to find Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner, he called Seon-min for help. Seon-min loudspeaker the phone when he called Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner, to know where he is. Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner, has already left the car and moved to the nearest restaurant. As Jeong-do hears it, he immediately runs to confirm if it's true. As he arrived, he saw Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner, there relaxing. Meanwhile, a girl named Min-ju found a puppy on the side of the road. As she plays with a puppy, a mysterious guy abducts her. Later that night, Seon-min and Mr. Cho went to the location where one of the ex-prisoner couldn't be contacted. As they arrived at the location, they heard a voice of a girl asking for help, so they went rushing where the voice came from. Unfortunately, they were fooled. It just came from the speaker where the ex-prisoner was holding. They immediately figure out that it was a setup and sense some danger, so they rush running. But another group comes and blocks their way. So they have no choice but to fight. Unfortunately, they are outnumbered and the bad guys knock them both. As Jeong-do continued following Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner, he went to an abandoned building. As Jeong-do entered the building, Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner, appeared and closed it to trap Jeong-do. Then the group of bad guys appeared to beat up Jeong-do. They didn't know that Jeong-do is a skilled martial artist. So, they end up beaten. After that, Jeong-do called Seon-min but did not answer. So, he decided to find Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner, on his own. Meanwhile, Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner, together with Byung-soon, are about to begin the content video that Cho-min wanted. You will also see the abducted girl Min-ju as their subject. Jeong-do arrive at the house of Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner, and notices a footprint going to the basement, so he immediately follows it. No one answered him as he knocked on the door. As he hear a girl voice from the basement, he went to the window and ragely trying to break the iron bar. He notices a neighbor watching him, so he commands it to call the police for help. Due to his extreme rage, he was able to remove the iron bar and break the glass window. As he entered the basement, Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner, immediately attacked him. As they fight, Byung-soon appears and is able to stab Jeong-do. But Jeong-do fights back and knocks Byung-soon. After that, he continued fighting with Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner. He able to outsmart Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner, and knock him out. He thought that they are safe with the kid. Unfortunately, Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner, attacked him and stabbed him with a knife. The police came and Byung-soon rushed to escape the scene. While Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner, fights the police, then escapes. The police immediately called an ambulance for the injured Jeong-do. At the hospital, Jeong-do's father came rushing to see his son. The high-ranking officer informed that his son is fine. Jeong-do's father entered the room and couldn't believe that this would happen to his son and regretted joining him as a martial arts officer. As Jeong-do regained conscious, he asked if they able to catch Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner. The high-rank officer informed that Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner, is able to escape and they continue tracking him. They also informed that Seon-min is also in the hospital due to multiple fractures but already in good condition. Only Mr. Cho is declared as brain dead, which makes Jeong-do burst into tears. After he able to came out from the hospital, Jeong-do visit the funeral of Mr. Cho. He also attended the Brave Citizen Award ceremony to receive the award. After the ceremony, he meets the aunt of Min-ju, the girl that he saved. The aunt gave him a present as a thank you for saving Min-ju. She also gives the letter that Min-ju made for him. He knows that Min-ju is still afraid to go outside due to what happened to her. She is also hoping that the bad guy will be captured soon. Jeong-do discusses with Seon-min and his friend about what happened to the girl that he saved. But Seon-min couldn't do anything because the case was already held by the police. As Jeong-do and his friend leaves, Jeong-do got an idea to find a way to capture Mr. Kong, the high-risk prisoner. He remembered the plate number of a black car that he suspected before. He told Moisture to get the details of that car. With his father's ability, they are able to get the information that they need. Rider K and Earthworm buy the gears that they need. When they were already prepared, they went to the house of the owner of the car that they suspected. Moisture tried to break the electronic lock door, but was not successful and caused it to alarm, which led to the owner to come out. As they see the door open, they immediately rush to get inside. They were able to capture Cho-min and tied it up on the chair. As the father of Moisture able to unlock the computer of Cho-min, they found a terabyte of child videos that Cho-min sells on the dark web. Jeong-do immediately interrogate Seon-min where they can find Mr. Kong the high-risk prisoner, but Seon-min didn't spill any information. Until Jeong-do poked him in the eyes, leading him to tell everything he knew. They check the message on his phone and have a hint where they could find Mr. Kong the high-risk prisoner. They immediately prepared and create a plan to capture Mr. Kong the high-risk prisoner. When they are about to proceed to their mission, Jeong-do's father just came home and forbade Jeong-do to do a dangerous mission. Jeong-do explains that this is his passion and saving people makes him happy. He also gave an assurance to his father that he won't get hurt and came back safe. Jeong-do was able to convince his father and received an approval. As they reached where the location of Mr. Kong the high-risk prisoner, Moisture immediately prepares his drone to do some surveillance. While Jeong-do, Writer K and Earthworm spread on the location to figure out the exact location of Mr. Kong the high-risk prisoner. Not too long after their search, Earthworm found a suspicious place, so he called Jeong-do and Writer K to come. Jeong-do immediately peek inside to confirm if Mr. Kong the high-risk prisoner was there. He confirmed that their target was there, so he told Earthworm and Writer K to go back where Moisture is. Jeong-do shouts out loud to get the attention of his target. Mr. Kong the high-risk prisoner and with his group came out. They pick a fight with Jeong-do, but they are all beaten by Jeong-do. While Mr. Kong the high-risk prisoner escaping, he told Moisture to track his location. At the alley, Mr. Kong the high-risk prisoner is patiently waiting for Jeong-do to come. As they see each other again, they immediately start their fierce fight. Mr. Kong the high-risk prisoner was able to overpower Jeong-do and he is about to lose consciousness. Moisture immediately find a way to help Jeong-do and make his drone as a sacrifice as he crash it to Mr. Kong the high-risk prisoner eyes. Due to that attack, Jeong-do able to fight back and take down Mr. Kong the high-risk prisoner. Then he put on a handcuff while stating the Miranda rights that now he perfectly memorized. After that, Jeong-do and his friend received an award from the South Korean president for capturing the high-risk prisoner. Seon-min was very happy with what Jeong-do and his friends achieved. Also, Jeong-do's father was very proud of his son. Before the ceremony ends, Min-ju came to say thank you to Jeong-do for saving her and capturing the bad guys, and now she will be able to enjoy life. Jeong-do was happy to hear that Min-ju is okay. And that's where the story ends. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Also hit the notification bell to get updated on every video that we upload. Thank you and have a great day.